Ta-da! Hello everybody, good afternoon, welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you're returning. As you can see, this is another drawing video because we practice drawing anatomy. We want to get good at doing our own self-portraits, drawing each other, building an artistic community, and the only way you can do that is by practicing as much as you can. Yeah, I guess as much as you can. So let's just do what we always do. We're going to do the face vase exercise out of this book. We're going to do a little anatomy, then we're going to do the portrait. And if you want to skip ahead to the good part, you can just click the link below and you'll see me drawing. Anyways, I'm here to do everything from start to finish, so hope you guys are too. I'm gonna be moving kind of fast because we've done this so many times. Oops, that's too small. Yeah, so let's see. This book is great because it gives you the 5 elemental principles in learning how to draw. And it also tells you how it's a right hemisphere activity instead of a left hemisphere activity, and that actually is very important. So yeah, it says 5 skills: perception of edges, perception of spaces, perception of relationships, lights and shadows, and then the gestalt, which is the first 4 put together. Get it? It's a global skill just like riding a bike, walking, running, driving a car, whatever, you name it, reading. They're made up of component skills that when you put them together, you can learn how to do it. And that's how, uh, you know, you can learn how to swim kind of like you just get it, or riding a bike, you just get it one day. Drawing is the same. So anyone can learn how to draw at any point in their life. And this is the first example of whether or not you're in the right frame of mind or not. So in this exercise, we're going to draw the first half silent and the second half verbally describing what we do. Give it a pause in the video and try it yourself, but I'm going to do it as quick as I can. The book says take 5 minutes. Let's see what we can do. 1, 2, 3, go. Neck, chin, lips, nose, forehead, hairline. Bam, done. Okay, so that was pretty good. I don't know how long. Last time was about 16 minutes, so if we beat 16 minutes, that's good, but I'm also fairly satisfied with the result. Yeah, so the purpose of talking is because it's supposed to cause your hemispheres to clash with each other, because speaking and thinking of all of those things linguistically and symbolically is left brain, but drawing is right brain. So yeah, this conflict in the brain can cause you to pause and figure out which way you're going. Uh, but the more familiar you are with the right brain, the easier it is to get there. Anyways, the whole point of all of this is that the left brain is dominant and wants to try first, but then usually it gets bored and gives up the task of drawing to the right brain. So if you ever feel like frustrated, or like really time oriented, like it's got to get somewhere, just relax, take a couple breaths, drink some water. We learned in our anatomy book that if I were to divide this in half, that would be the medial line. Yeah, so that's how I always start my class for 22, 20, 21. Give it a go. If you can do it too, then you're part of the club. JSJ. Do with my little butterfly. Eventually, I think I'm going to start doing like a butterfly Rorschach kind of thing where it'll be different every day. That sounds like a fun idea. This will be today's boop 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 boo symmetric Rorschach blot butterfly. Let's put it in the book, everybody. This was yesterday's. And come on. Yesterday's. No, that was like 3 days ago. And I was more swoopy. I was trying to be really careful to be like more on the nose. Going back a couple days. This is our favorite exercise. Okay. Moving on. I always talk about pure contour drawing, upside down drawing, negative space drawing. You can use the grid system. You can do so many different things that this book teaches you how to draw, just like that. So check it out. Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain by Betty Edwards, and it is a course in enhancing creativity and artistic confidence. It's what I've been using to teach for years now. Many students have learned out of that book. So this one is more recent because the progress wasn't happening fast enough, so we had to go back to the basics and learn the anatomy. I'll just give a shout out. Artist's Guide to Form, Function, and Movement, Valerie L. Winslow. Thanks for that. The preface says, anatomy was important then, it's important now, and it will be important in the future. And that's really all you need to know. For centuries, anatomy has been considered one of the most challenging subjects for artists to master. Maybe. Is that why we wanted to start with this? Anatomical studies were a vital part of the traditional figurative artist's curriculum in most art instruction of the past, and learning anatomy was considered essential to successfully depicting the human figure. So that's why we're doing anatomy, because that's what we want to do, draw people and draw each other. Because that's the first thing someone will ask when you say you can draw. They say, okay, can you draw me? And then they patiently wait for you to like mess up. But we won't, because we'll know our stuff. We'll be able to do all of this. We haven't gotten to those yet. The first chapter is boring. It just talks about the language, and we skip that. I try reading a little bit each time. Sagittal plane, coronal plane, transverse plane. Okay. So the sagittal plane is basically the medial line. That's what I've been saying this whole time. Medial is moving in, lateral is moving out. Yeah, and then it talks about form and function. We're about this far in the book. The first chapter is the skull, and we're about this far. We know almost all of the parts, which means we should be able to draw a face. That's what we're almost done with. And then that's like, I think if you can get the face and the hands and the feet, the rest is so easy. Okay, so I know that we're up to the mouth muscles, which is front on. So you'll see in our book, we've been practicing the front view, the side view, and the three-quarter view several times over. And we know all the bones. I'm not going to list them all because it just takes up so much time. And I want to actually get the video in under an hour this time. Well, at least an hour. So, yep, welcome to class. Here we go. This is probably where most people are going to jump in. So if you've been sticking with me, thanks everybody. Now, did that all on the side view. We haven't put them together yet. We did do the 3/4 view. That was a fun one. Yeah, you'll see that in a sec. So we did that, and we're up to this now. So I'm going to draw this skull, but now I'm glad I looked ahead because I will just very lightly gesture in the teeth. I won't draw the whole thing in. Same thing with the nasal cavity, because I might want to put all of that together. I think before we move on and start adding in all of these things, we should be able to put all of the stuff that we've learned on it today. So I think that's what I'm going to want to do, and then eventually we'll be able to draw this whole thing without looking at any of the words or looking at the book, because we'll know it inherently, which we can basically do with the skull now. So let's draw the skull, and we're only like 10-ish minutes into the video. That's pretty good. If you guys need me to slow down, just say so, but I'm going to try to start to speed up the stuff. Again, I have a red pencil. I just have been holding it all the time, but I'm going to go backwards and get my favorite mechanical pencil here. And is there anything I want to say before we jump into the drawing? No, let's just go. Okay, starting the drawing. Make sure you mark off where the boundaries of the drawing are gonna be and block that in, and that should be the first thing that you do with your drawing, is get a basic shape, because otherwise you could find yourself going off the page. And the skull is basically like a big old circle, and then you drop it down. The bottom of the circle, if I was to make like an actual circle and divide it off here, that would be like the zygomatic bone. Is it? It's almost halfway down, but it's not. What am I trying to do here? I'm like actually measuring the skull now. So it looks like... Ugh, goodness. It shows the proportions of the face later on, but this is the proportion of the skull, which is a little bit different. So we've got our frontal bone, and on the other side of the frontal bone is this superior temporal line, which is the temple line. And I kind of want the zygomatic bones to go like here, which are the cheekbones. And that would mean that the nasal cavity is about thus far on the face. For some reason, I think I put the this superior temporal line in too far, which always throws off the orbital, which is the eye socket. So I'm just trying to get better at putting in the actual shapes first before I jump into the details, because it is very easy to get the details out of place. Do 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 do. I brought this nasal cavity up way too high. Should be like down here. And did I have a dream that I found the eraser? This is so funny. I need a bigger eraser, and I've said it on previous videos, and I definitely had a dream that I found one right there on the table. Does that ever happen to you guys where you'll remember a dream later in the day? Do 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 do. Only because something happens to make that reminds you of the dream. Okay, so again, I'm not going to go too crazy with putting it all in the right, well, putting it all in and darkening it all up and finalizing it, because the real final result is going to be the muscles. So this is the superciliary arch, which is going to help me put in the orbital, because I can like never match them up for some reason. This one comes down this way, and this one comes down this way. So, did you guys do anything fun today? Did you do any drawing exercises? Is there a reason why you're here watching this video? Is there something or someone that you want to draw, like maybe yourself? Are you trying to get into an art school and building your portfolio, or do you just like watching someone learn? Because a big part of this is actually just the process of someone actually learning the anatomy, because when I started making these videos, I didn't know it, and by the time I'm done with these videos, I do know it. So that's just proof that I'm a great teacher. Just kidding. The books are actually really great, though. I always get so caught up doing the shadows when I should be focusing on putting everything in the right spot. So, kind of in the middle of the orbital is where the maxilla comes out. And the maxilla, of course, as we know, is the upper jawbone. And then we've got one row of teeth on the top and another row of teeth underneath. And then you can close that in with the mandible, which kind of lines up with the orbital, and same thing with the occipital bone, which is behind the head, kind of matches up with the mandible as well. But I don't want to go too crazy because we're going to erase this in just a second anyway. Maybe not even erase, because I think I'm getting better at drawing on top of stuff. That is basically where we marked off the paper in the very beginning. So we're getting better at containing the drawing within the the limits of the boundaries that we set in the beginning, which is, I think, an important skill to have. Just making a couple darker lines, a couple key spots. Oops. I need to remind myself to not... Oh, crap. I'm going to be putting stuff in on top of this. Chill, Jason. Stop. So yeah, I'm just going to ghost it in because I'm going to erase all of this stuff in a second. But it is important to get all of the bones in the right spot. Yeah, so that's our ghostly skull. I'm really fighting the temptation to finish the drawing, but I feel like there's a certain level where you can put everything in where it needs to be, and then everything after that is just like finalization. I think I messed up over here. Making it just a little bit bigger. Because otherwise it doesn't fit down here, so just a little bit bigger though. Which kind of helps with the temple line as well. There's shadow over here. Shadow, 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 shadow. Okay, I'm getting better at shading without putting big ugly black lines down every single time. There are things that I know I can... Oh goodness, I gave him an alien head. It's gotta come out more on this side now. If you're wondering why I turned it upside down, it's because it's easier to see what needs to be done, like, really quickly. Have you ever seen any other art teacher do that? Goodness, eye sockets are all messed up. Okay, so I got, like, most of it. Let's skip ahead. That is, yeah, you'll see because we're gonna start erasing shit. La 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 la. Moving along. I'm actually just the fact that we even got all the lines down in the right spot. Like we just have to make things darker. So let's very lightly put in the Frontalis, which is here. And if all of the bones are in the right spot, it should be very easy. So the Frontalis goes along your superciliary arch, along the superior temporal line, and up. The origin is the epicranial aponeurosis, and the insertion is the skin and subcutaneous tissue of the eyebrow. Basically goes from here to here, and it pulls your eyebrows up. That's how the muscle works. So do it with me, everybody. Flex your frontalis. We learned something today. Frontalis, 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 frontalis. I'm just doing a little contouring. It's fun learning my own style, I gotta say, because kind of learning a lot of the stuff as I do it. Which is funny because that's usually how I would work with the kids. A lot of my creativity would come directly from the pressure that they would put on me to just make shit for them all the time. I was constantly making new things just for them. So that's the thing about creativity, is It's really um, under pressure. That's why I was just listening to this, famous writer who was like, I locked myself in a cabin for a whole summer, uh, and I wasn't going to leave until I finished this book, and I got no work done because he was just like, cutting the lawn and walking the dog and hanging out with friends. There was like, you know, no reason to do it. Anyways, so I've found that some of my greatest work has been under pressure. So that's the Frontalis. Let's get a little sharper. Actually, let's move on because I know the Proceris is right here. So now we're going to do the Proceris, and let's do the Proceris red. I'm going to color everything exactly the way the book does it. We're having, oh man. I opened my sharpener upside down and it made a mess on my table. So, should I do the Proceris? Yeah, I'll do it next because it's next in the book, but honestly, I feel like the eyes should be next. So, the bottom line is like right past, it's just past the nasal bone. And we do have a nasal bone. The root of the nose, nasal bone. And then there's the cartilage on top. So, should we draw the cartilage? Yeah, let's draw the cartilage first, just really quick. Because I guess that would be the next thing. See, this is how I'm learning. I'm literally learning it as I go, and each day we get a little further. It's like climbing a mountain. That's the analogy I keep using. So let's make the nasal bone a little darker, so we didn't before. And then I'm actually going to skip a little further even, because this one's a really clear image. So we've got these weird liver shaped things that go about halfway down the nose, and then, well, not the nose, the nasal cavity at least. And then another weird shaped globular liver shape, and then our nostrils come out a little bit into the eye socket. So let's say like that far. On both sides. Make this a little bigger. And it kind of hooks around. And then we have the bottom of the nose. I'll make that even a little bigger as well. And then there's just like cartilage and crap in between. La 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 la. Okay, so now we've got a cartilage on top of the nose, which means we can finally get up to the Proceris, which goes from about here, because we said it goes past the nasal bone. I'd say to about almost halfway down these weird shapes that we just drew. Anyways, and then it goes all the way up and attaches on top of the glabella. But it says, where does it go? Origin, it just says the nasal cartilage, and then it goes into the skin of the central region of the forehead, the glabella. And I want to make it red. The glabella's like here. It goes like way up here. Let's draw that in. If it looks weird, we'll do it a different way next time. Do 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 do, and that is the Proceris, which comes down to about there. So since it attaches here to here, the Proceris action pulls it down. And same thing with the corrugator supercilii, which we'll draw on now. Proceris. Before I do the Proceris, are these on top? No, it's going underneath, see? So I should have done these next. I guess I'll learn for next time that we'll do the Orbicularis oculi muscle before the Proceris, because the Proceris is on top. Why did they do that next in the book, though? Anyways, but over here, the Proceris is underneath. What the fuck is going on with this book, yo? It's totally on top over here and underneath over here. So, oh crap. Balls. So what the F is going on? Anyways, I guess it's okay. Just kind of a bummer that I'm not really understanding how clear this is. What's it look like further back in the book? I don't even have it anymore. I guess that's it. That's the best we got. And then later it goes into the actual surface. So, so that's good. Maybe they're not. Maybe they just go together. I don't know. I just want to keep going. I will say though, this is kind of going like fairly well, considering that it's like supposed to be really difficult. So, anyways, let's do the Orbicularis oculi next. Goodness, how are we gonna do this? I do want to put them in anyway, so I'm gonna do it. We've got one of you over here, and another one of you over here. And they're blue, so I'm gonna make them blue. Actually, let's see. I don't want to go too cray, because it doesn't even show on this page at all where they are. So I'm just like, this is kind of whack. I'm going to have to get a better, something better. Anyways, moving on. Right at kind of the middle of the nasal bone, is these little rectangular things, which is like the middle of the eye. So that's kind of where I start. We've got what's called depressor supercilii on either side. So I'm putting them in, but they interfere with the corrugator supercilii, which might be on top. I'm not sure. Anyways, the orbicularis muscle goes all the way around the whatchamacallit, what am I trying to say? Superior temporal line and along the zygomatic bone, and then comes back to where we started over here. So I'm just going to get that all in. And let's see. I guess it kind of matches up right underneath. Wow, the Frontalis. Yeah, they basically go together. Let's see them together. Yeah. So those go together, and then on the side is going to be the Temporalis. So we can even draw that in on the side. So, drawing my little circly dirklies. And the more we do this, the more accurate we'll get each time. I don't know why I'm drawing this in pencil and I did everything else in color. Do 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 boop 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 boo do 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 do. Actually, you know what? How's this go? It looks like there's a little more on the top than there is on the bottom. So I'm just gonna try to outline where I'm going. Do 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 do, and then it goes like this and like that, and the same thing. So just like we keep getting better at drawing the face vase, which technically is a face. I mean, we've been drawing that every day. Well, not, I missed 3 days. Sorry, y'all, but no one even said anything. Don't skip days, yos, because those are days that you can be getting experience. Like, even if you're not making a masterpiece every single time, like, each time you do the work, you will be gaining experience, which is the whole point. Okay, so now I'm going to erase a little bit. And yeah, in a year from now, we're going to draw every single piece of the anatomy. And how fast do you think we... Like, once there's nothing left, you can only refine the skills. So, I mean, like, once I know... I can't keep learning... Well, it depends how metaphysical you want to get, but, like... There is an end to the textbook, and I feel like if we just keep going, we will eventually get to the end, and by that time, like, if we learn what the textbook is teaching, then we should be able to draw perfect anatomy. Defining some of my lines now. I probably made that way too big. Oh well. I'm trying to get better at drawing lines faster without putting them in the wrong spot, because you can get lazy with your lines. And that looks bad, so don't do that. Don't be lazy with your lines. Let's see. So there's like one eye here, and there's like another eye over here. Even if they're not perfect, I'm still, pretty satisfied with the drawing so far. He's kind of like got a lazy eye, I've noticed. So I don't know if I can really fix that. So do you guys want to learn anatomy too? Do you already know anatomy? Is there any questions that I asked in this video and you know the answer? Just drop a comment below and I will be sure to, I don't know, learn the lesson that I'm going for or something. whatever I'm trying to say. Do 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 do. I think I'm ready to put a little more color on. What is this? What color do I want to make that? We've already got orange and red, but this one's also kind of red. So maybe I'll just do, what do I want? This red? Have I used this one yet? I don't think so. I probably just used it. Oh well. La 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 la. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard and they're like, it's better than yours, damn right. It's better than yours, I could teach you, but I have to charge. Yeah, I'm just assuming these go even further, but we'll ghost it in. I forget what I was just gonna say. Oh yeah. So I feel like if I do this every day, um, eventually we can, like really be an artist that draws people. Because isn't that the main goal anyway? We just want to draw people. I totally fucked it up. Oh well. This is the first time that we're like really putting them all together anyway, so it's okay if it doesn't come out perfect. Because we'll get better. That's the exciting part, is we'll just keep getting better and better and better. Anyways, I kind of want to give him better eyes. Let's just define those and make them rounder and shadier on the top. I'll do the same thing over here. Make it rounder and shade it on the top. And I totally missed the eyelids on this one, so maybe that'll make it look more even. Because it's gotta be symmetrical, otherwise people won't like it. That's pretty good so far. So, Frontalis, Proceres, Orbicularis Oculi. What is that? Corrugator supercilii. And then depressor supercilii. Moving on. What else have we done? This is fun. We've also done the Nasalis. And the LSN. That's the last thing that we did, was the LSN. So let's put them in really quickly. And then we can finally get to the orbital. Orbicularis Oris, which is the mouth. We can finally draw the mouth. I'm so excited. Let's make this one. It's like, what color is this? Magenta! I knew it. I should have fucking said it. Magenta. I fucking love that. Where does it go? It's kind of hard to see. I'm going to use this one. The Nasalis goes from here, and it connects at the Proceres? No way. It goes above the Proceres. It goes to like here. So it looks almost like the Nasalis attaches in the opposite direction of the Proceres, because the Proceres pulls you down and the Nasalis, it's like a little bunny. So flexor nasalis, everybody. As a yoga instructor, this is going to be so valuable having this knowledge, which I was supposed to learn it the first time. I was certified, but it was just like I was focusing on other things, unfortunately, like building. Oh, that's a pretty good side view of it too. So they really make sure that you understand it. Yeah, the Proceres, they go together. And then it looks like it goes down and around. A doo 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 boop boo boop boo. On the other one, it was like a triangle, but this one's more like a little um teepee or tent or something, and it goes down like that. A doo 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 doo. I kind of like the first way better though. I definitely like that one better. So maybe I'll just do like a little in between. I mean, whichever one is more accurate, but I think visually, I don't know, I'm confused now. Yeah, it's gotta be like that. But it doesn't look good. Anyways. Yeah, I wish they could show it a little more. But then over here they take it off again. Oh, well. So that's that. We'll go over everything with the darker pencil. I mean, with a black pencil in a second. But I'm going to make this a little darker. A do 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 do. Do 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 do. Now I'm just kind of blocking in stuff where they're supposed to go. And it really is that simple. Oh man, I'm doing it. I'm putting in the Orbicularis Oris. Yes, it feels so good to finally be there. It attaches to the mandible. And let's put in the other LSN on the other side. Which I still don't know how to pronounce it. Levator labii superioris aliquinasi. Boom. All right. I unfortunately have to go straight in with the pencil, otherwise I don't think we would be able to describe how everything is separate. Yeah, we're gonna have to learn how to work that out a little better. Anyways, and they go up here and attach there. Yeah, once we're more familiar with everything, I feel like it'll feel less foreign, but it still feels kind of foreign. But we're getting there. It's kind of hard to see, dang. I'll work on it. I'll work on getting better at that stuff. So kind of right in between the middle here, I'm seeing What am I seeing? Some good old lips. Do 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 do, and then it goes down. And on the other side as well. And that's pretty much it for that muscle. And that kind of completes the drawing for today. Depending on how far we want to go. We're like 50 minutes in. We're usually like just finishing one skull by now. And we're actually getting much better at all of this. So I definitely smeared my drawing. So it's fading on that side. Goes kind of like that. I definitely didn't do the lips or anything big enough. Let's see. I think it must be a little bit bigger. Do 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 do, because the lips are bigger than the nose. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. They're supposed to go like to the middle of your eye, I think. I don't know. I haven't. This is like my first time drawing a mouth in on camera like this, so I'm well surprised by it. I don't know. Ha ha ha. I don't know. I think I kind of messed it up now. Do 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 do. Yeah, I don't really know. You can definitely tell that I haven't gotten as much practice drawing mouths, huh? So over here, it basically goes from the maxilla. So maybe I should take it in a little bit. Or I can take the maxilla out a little bit as well. I mean, hell. It's just what we did today, whatever. And it's all orange. Orange, orange, orange. Oh, I didn't separate it over here. Alright, and it goes like a little wavy thing. Actually, I should take that middle line out. Okay. So that's the Orbicularis Oris. And the lips are orange too. So that basically completes our skull. I'm just going to use my this is HB, so I'm going to go in with a 2B pencil and hammer out some of the darker lines really quick because we are going to add this to our book, so we might as well try to complete it as well as we can. And I know that it's important to have really dark lines, especially when you're putting stuff on the computer. Do 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 do, and then we can finally get to our self-portraiture. One straight line all the way around and down. So I'm going to try to outline everything really quickly. Because it's worth the effort. I'll have to practice getting those things a little better. But if I were to do this, I kind of lose the quality that it has alone with the color. Oh, crap. Yeah. So is it worth going over this part? I'm going to say yes, just to define where the muscles are. Dang, I keep breaking my lead. Almost done, almost done. Da 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 da. Especially in the nose spot. I'm like, you can't even see what's going on. Like that's supposed to be divided. It's really detailed, so. Oh well. It's fun to be drawing this and like actually know what I'm drawing though. Do 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 do. This should all be shadowy. More shadowy. More. Oops! I put the shadow in the wrong spot. I gotta undo that. Do 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 do. Down here, it's like, wait, what? You're so sure about everything, and then you get to the bottom, and it's like a mess. Anyways, I know a lot of people do sped up videos and they do voiceovers, but I don't know. I just think it's. Oh, I broke my lead again. I think it's really important to show the process. Do 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 do. It's like my virtual sketchbook. If I only had a brain. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Okay, that kind of completes this drawing. What do we think? Something's off over here. I think it's supposed to come out a little more. Do 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 do. What do y'all think? Is it total crap? As long as you learn something. Today we learned where the Orbicularis Oris is. And it's the first time that we put everything together. So let's sign and date it. JSJ with my little butterfly insignia, and it is 4/22/2021. And I kind of want to do a yellow in the background because it's the only thing missing. Do 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 do. So we spent like weeks just drawing the skull because there were so many different parts. And I feel like I mentioned almost all of them, if not all of them. Oh crap! I didn't even draw on the Temporalis. Do 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 do. I'll do that in a second. Da 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 da. Haha, he looks kind of weird. Next is going to be all of these going right across there. So when we draw those, what are they? The levator labii. When we draw those, we will redraw everything that we drew today. but we'll probably draw better next time. So as much as this is important to draw, um, it's not really that important because I'm just going to draw better next time. Or at least attempt to. Do 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 do. I will just draw a couple like little swipies. Do 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 do. These swipies are your superior. No, just your temporalis, which is the first one that we did, isn't it? Yeah, it's this one. Isn't anatomy fun? Drop a comment below and tell me how fun anatomy is. Yeah, next we're going to do those. We literally could add them in like right now, but I don't want to. Maybe I should. No, we're like an hour in. I'll do it tomorrow. And then we're going to add in these, which I can totally see. My dimensions are off, so I want to draw the skull better next time, and then it'll be easier to draw all the muscles in the right spot. Do 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 do. Yep, so not bad, not bad. Get that out of there. Pretty satisfied with today's work, especially compared to what I used to do. That's all we did last time, and we did that plus everything else. We stopped because we'd spent so much time defining everything that we were just like too lazy. Levator labii superioris aliqui nasi, LSN, with the nasalis on top. And yeah, I mean, going back in time, we're doing basically the same thing every day, but at varying levels of completeness. So I'm excited for when we can draw the entire skeleton and then draw all of the muscles on that skeleton. But we're just focusing on the skull and the face, you know, the head right now, and then we're going to do the hands and then the feet. And then the rest will be just like a walk in the park. But, you know, this is just what we did in the beginning. Like, that was the entire day's drawing. And we can now draw that again, and we're adding the muscles on top. Because we didn't know what the muscles were back then. We couldn't add them. But even several times. Actually, you know what? I think that day, yeah, we did a front and a side view. So, anyways. La 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 la. Just a little analysis at the end. And then it goes into my actual portraiture, which we can do now. So let's add this into the book. And I'm going to get out another paper and just really quickly draw myself. So 2 pages, one for gesture drawing and one for the actual portrait. And it's not going back in the book. Come on. Okay. Ugh, goodness. Whatever. So I'm the model for today's class, so I'm going to disrobe now. If you're uncomfortable with skin, subscribe anyway. Ta-da! I've been exercising, so there will actually be some muscles to draw. Make sure you have a nice clear space, like I do not. Make myself a little bigger. Drink green tea, it's good for your health. Oh man, okay. So let's just do a couple gesture drawings, which are really, I shouldn't be using such a pencil like that. Let's do gesture drawings with pencils like this. Do 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 do. So yeah, for gesture drawings, we're just getting basic shapes. You know, circle for skull. Make sure you get the spine, the lines for the spine. That's what I learned in anatomy class or figure drawing class when I was in high school. They taught you to just start with the skull and the spine, and then the hips. I wish you guys could see when I draw lightly, but the whole purpose of drawing lightly is so that, you know, it's not visible later in the drawing. Frontal bone, superior temporal line, superciliary arch, glabella, which is leading to the orbitals, root of the nose, maxilla, ba ba da da ba ba. There's always like almost no eye showing over here, and I always want to draw in like a whole eye. It's just like a really bad habit, but anyways, almost. I mean, I'm pretty much ready to draw a full-on face. I don't really need all of these gesture drawings. Yes, I do. What am I saying? The eye's in the wrong spot. Mandible. I've got like muscle over here in my shoulder. My chin. Talkie ball. My hair's up today because it was so freaking windy. Oh my god. It was so windy today. Let's draw one more. And then we'll move on. But I want it to be orange. Not red. It had to be orange. So yes, trying to build artistic community. And honestly, the best way to build the art community is to just build your own skills. So that's really what I'm doing, is I'm building my skills, but I also want us to help each other build each other's skills up. I'm just putting stuff in the spots. I'm not really drawing myself. But it's funny because sometimes you can just not focus on trying to draw yourself and just be drawing, like putting the stuff in the spots, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh wait, it's like done, and it's pretty good. So that's funny. Those are my gestures for today. Ba-bum. I don't really care. We're already over an hour anyway. I'm forgetting to like sign and date stuff. Am I? JSJ, butterfly. I don't want this to be more than a 10-minute drawing, but we'll see what happens. There's a line going directly down my face. I look so skinny. Okay, so I want it to be like this big. I'm so excited to like finish the anatomy because Um, I don't know. I'm just going to scientifically figure out how to draw a face. My God, I'm like, what am I trying to do here? Let's start with a circle. Making it a bigger circle now. So we've got a frontal bone here. It's my frontal bone. And here's my temple line. Well, let's see. Temple line on this side. And yeah, it's like here too. Superciliary arch. This would be the glabella. Here's the orbital on the other side. And let's put that in a little bit. Let's see. I don't know what's going on, but I'm not giving up yet. I'm like dancing all around the paper, which you're kind of supposed to be doing. Do 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 do. We've got our Nasalis be there. That's kind of a familiar feeling since we just drew it. Do 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 do. There's a big old light right in my eye right there. And some eyebrow action going on. Same thing over here, lots of eyebrow action. It's kind of weird though. I think I just made the eye a little too high. Do 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 do. Again, the temple line. We've got our zygomatic bone right here. Which honestly, there's like shadow around it, so might as well. Do 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 do. And it goes in and up over there. So this kind of has shadow for some reason. I always talk about how I've got like the weirdest lighting in here, 'cause it's really bad. Honestly, this should all be darker, and this should be lighter. So rather than go crazy, I'm just going to take out a little bit. There is a big shadow over here, though. I know the eye is kind of out of place, but we'll work on that. I just move so much when I draw. So I need another model. Someone else come model for me. So if this is the zygomatic bone, and this would be the mandible. There's like a circle on my chin over here. So just like the face vase, which we practice every day, I'm just kind of expecting to get better. I want to be able to draw my own damn face. Everyone should be able to draw their own damn face. Isn't it just like, it's so simple? And everyone wants to. Like, I don't know anyone who doesn't like want to learn how to draw. So if you can just get past the internal voice, it's so worth it. It's not like the worst drawing. Okay, so I know everything past the temple line up here is shadow, but then I've got like actual hair. So let's see, this would be the temporalis. I'm like trying to measure the computer image. My God. I can kind of see it coming. Like I see areas where it's like I feel like if I keep practicing, I will eventually get it in like a couple weeks. Almost done, everybody. And I think I might have put that in the wrong spot, but oh well. Ugh. I'm just like messing it up now. My neck out there, and I've got like hunched shoulders because I'm Quasimodo, of course. I want this all darker. I want everything else darker. Sometimes you're just like unconsciously shading something in, and then you're just like, oh, that's like exactly what the image needed. So. Just keep doing your do. Just make sure that, yeah, the practice is like good practice and not like bad practice. You know what I mean? Because I was practicing badly and I always say I wanted to get better at drawing portraits, so I was going to draw 500 portraits, and it wasn't a good practice for me because I would say learn the anatomy first, then draw the 500 portraits, and then you'll actually get there. So that's what we're doing here. So if anyone is watching the video, you're like a year early. Because we're practicing badly now so that we can be practicing good later. It's like planting a tree. It's easy. It just needs time and patience. Do 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 do, and I guess that's like the one thing that COVID was good for was lots and lots of time. My little talkie ball thingy. Going like that. I don't know. Like I can tell it's off, but it's okay. I'm so tired. I'm exhausted. I'm stopping. Do 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 do. That was like a 10-minute drawing anyway. That's what we said. 4, 22, 20, 21. The anatomy eventually won't take us like an hour to draw. Hopefully it'll only take us, 10, 15 minutes. Right? Now that we can draw the skull, we can draw the muscles before we could only draw the skull. So we are getting much better. Do 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 do. I already showed you all of the anatomies that we did. So I've divided the book up into having the gestures on top, and then the portraits are next. So let's compare today's drawing with last drawing. I think if I were to do that, it looks pretty good. What to say? I didn't really draw in any background at all, so do 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 do, and that, and let's put in a little clock. Do 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 do. My clock over here, and then closets and my piano and dumb shit. Okay, it has backgrounds. Yeah, now we're matching today's drawing. Going back. Do 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 do. That one's pretty good. Dude, I look so serious there. That one was fun because we started putting the muscles on the portrait, but I don't really want to do that. That one's really 2D, but the gesture for this one came out pretty good. It's funny, a lot of the time the gestures would have like more of my soul captured in it than the actual portrait. And then going further back, I put them all on the same paper, which doesn't really look that good. Okay, so how do I want to do this? Do 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 do. These are those, and this is this. Now, is there anything you want to say? Thanks for drawing me. It was fun. I'm in a good mood, even though I look really angry. Thanks for sharing that with us. Drawing of Jason. And what about the anatomy? I'm really happy with the way it came out. We're almost done with all of the muscles. All we need to do is these and those. We already did pretty much everything else. So, yeah. Right? Do 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 do. Because we started at the top and we're moving our way down, and we just did the lips. So that's basically everything. That's the masseter. I think I could draw it, but it wouldn't really show up in the front. Yep, and that's how we started a class. So one more time, I'm just going to show off what we did, and then I'll attach a link of the actual pictures. I think I'm going to do like an Instagram or something of just the actual progress, because that way we can, just get more exposure. So thanks for coming to class, everybody. I'm going to clean up the studio. Let's see. We've got really fun caterpillars and butterflies growing over there. So I think in a couple of weeks we will have like a couple hundred butterflies. And that's just really fun stuff. They're just so pretty and cool and alive. Yeah, they're like leaves, but they're alive. Hmm. I'm just really happy that this is coming out right. We've drawn the skull so many times, and we're now that we've started drawing the muscles more than once. It's just like the proportions are starting to be right. You know, it's not perfect, but it's much better than it was when we started. Honestly, if I were to grab my other book, is this the right one? I don't think this is even the right one. Oh yeah, this is it. You know, like this is where we started. Do. The figure drawing was just like I couldn't get past the gesture drawing, so even on multiple attempts, you know, this is how we started drawing the muscles and the skull. It was like I wasn't even drawing the skull. Look at this. I wasn't even really drawing the skull, and I was trying to draw the muscles on top. Isn't that ridiculous? So, la 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 la. Yeah, it's just like so bad because I wasn't, you know, like I tried. I started getting better. And then as I started getting better, I was like, actually, let's maybe slow down and practice it the right way. Do. Oh no, it was better before. Whatever. Um, yeah, I started doing the stuff on the end of the chapter. We'll get there in just like a couple days. We are moving really fast because we're practicing every single day. So it's just like we're moving really fast. Like that took me like I know at least an hour, and I can draw it so much better now. No, not an hour. It probably took like 30 minutes, but as you can see, and this is you know, my first couple of videos. I was doing this stuff, so it was all out of order. That's why we got our binder. Look how, you know, bad that one is. Some of these are like really bad, but some of them are pretty good. I like this one. I do. I mean, it came out weird though. Why did I draw my hand? I must have been describing something. La 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 la. I learned the glabella that day. That was at the beginning of the month. So, we've drawn the skull so many times. Do. The end. Hour and a half video. Sorry, I'll try to be a little faster next time. Tomorrow we're going to draw all of this, but with the final attachments. And I think we can finish. Can we finish all the muscles tomorrow? That would be so fun if we finished all of the muscles tomorrow. Do. I mean, in the face at least. Do. Did it. Putting them together. This is what we got up to. All we got to do is throw in some of these attachments on the top and on the bottom, and that completes the head. Oh, on the side, the buccinator. Is that how you pronounce it? Buccinator. And then the neck muscles. But once we're done with the neck, it teaches you how to draw all of the planes of the head and the different angles. So if I draw this a couple of times, I think drawing this will come much easier. Because this is like literally almost every single face. And then if you can just figure out how to put on a couple defining features like my hair. Look at that. Like if we were bald, we would all look like that. Basically, we all have like the same anatomy. Our DNA is almost exactly the same. So if you can draw one person, you can draw pretty much anyone. You know, eyes. Once you break them down, like how hard could that be? I can't imagine. It shows you exactly, it says this is how the hair growth patterns are and how to draw them. I wish I wasn't so fuzzy. That's a little better, I guess. But once we get to this part of the book and we start drawing that for a couple of days and we draw this for a couple of days, we'll be able to draw this. You know, same thing with the nose. Um, yeah, and with the lips, it gives you the actual dimensions. It tells you where the placement is. And that's it. That's the last page. Yay! We're going to skip the torso because I want to go straight into the hand and the feet. I guess the hand is like past the halfway point. And I'm guessing the feet is probably like right at the end. But we're allowed to skip around if we want. Wouldn't it be fun to draw people that look like people? Oh my god, I'm so excited. This is the best thing in the world. I love this stuff. So, if you want me to draw you naked, just let me see you naked. Just kidding. But not really. So, anything you want to say, Mr. Anatomy Man? Yeah, thanks. I wish you would animate me so that my lips would be moving when I talk. Wow, actually, maybe we will turn this into an animation eventually. I mean, why not? We're learning how to. I mean, that's like what an animation is just flipping papers back and forth. So I would put this on top of this and do 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 do. Yeah, it's fun. We've drawn the skull so many times. Okay. Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming to class. Hour and a half. I'll try to be earlier tomorrow and, yeah, a little faster with my drawing. I don't know. It's all about the process, and it's slow. It's a slow process. Okay. Thanks again, everybody. I love you. See you tomorrow. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the button and a couple of other links down below. I don't know. It's all a bunch of fun stuff. Bye.